How do you think your life will end serious? Well, I have metastatic cancer, so I think about it more and more. Had for years, Steve Jobs type. Each treatment gets more serious, Big C finding more places. Had back surgery to fix vertebrae eaten by Big C, now I walk barely and with hunch. Just today I drove to gas station. Leaving the gas station store, I tripped up my cane and wiped out completely outside the door. Concrete, cushioned by bag of chips. Just saw that could have worse. So, AB not cancer directly, that side thing late that there, or cold during chemo, or other operation. Suicide. It has come the closest to killing me so far. No fear of death or the brief pain necessary. I have no tolerance for hospitals, nor long-term care facilities. I've lost 3 to Alzheimer's and 1 to ALS, 1 to cancer. Chemo, surgery, extended care. No thank you. I've got plenty to live for now. I've got a line where that stops. Seems natural to me. The peace of knowing what it feels like, and that I can do it when the time comes, is a relief. I hope for many more good years, I'll not have to tolerate many bad ones. My great-grandma, who I think was born 1890, died at 90. My grandma died at 97, only last year. My mother is 76 and kicking. Good health, no slowing down. The women there live and live. I think I'll be old as hell. That can be a startling notion. I'm 36. What if there's 64 years left? I can't tell if I should laugh or cry. I don't even qualify for retirement until I'm 62, so I suppose I should hope to live to 100 just to get my fair use out of the pension. Problem is, you outlive a lot of people. If I don't have a baby, mine died at 6 days old from hospital neglect. I can't live forever with my arms empty. I'll keep trying to have another. I don't think I can. I'm bedridden from PTSD, so I have no quality of life. If I don't have a baby, there's only one choice left eventually. I'll keep fighting to live for a few years, but living in bed is not really living. I'm trying everything else first. I want to live, but not like this. If things change, I'll live a long, happy life. Suicide, not because I'm depressed or anything, but because I know I'll probably get diagnosed with something later on in my life. And I refuse to watch myself deteriorate like that. Or maybe I outlive everyone in my life, and I'll get to a point where there's nothing on this earth for me anymore. Or maybe the war will come, and I'll get surrounded by enemy combatants, and I'd rather die by my own hand than be tortured by the enemy before they execute me. That's what I believe. Old age. I'll feel my time coming before it actually does, and make my way to the forest or my garden to die peacefully in nature, leaving a note behind telling my loved ones where to find me. My body will be laid in the earth to rest in a natural fabric or coffin, maybe a small headstone or plant marking my grave. No embalming or cremation. My body will decay as nature intended, and I'll be a part of the earth, giving nutrients to trees and shrubs that grow around me. My heart is going to give out. At 48 years old, I had a calcium scan and my score was 520. Normal, healthy heart score between 20 and 30, and a total score of 200 or higher usually requires intervention. A month later, I had angioplasty with for stents, and now I take a huge amount of pills to stave off death. Doc is happy that I've kind of plateaued and am stable. But I know that this ticking time bomb in my chest will surely be the thing that ends me. Or an unintentional car accident. It'd say the most terrifying outcome IMO would be growing old, watching loved ones outlive me, and leaving at an old age. That would be the worst outcome I'd imagine. Young, of a heart disease. I'd have massive heart attack at age 65 after having had several bypasses. Mother a few years later, age 66, of multiple organ failure due to complications from a heart transplant 6 months previously, has really made me think about my own mortality to the point where I'm counting down how many years I have left until my mid-60s and feeling a great deal of pressure to make lifestyle changes. That's a heavy question, honestly. I hope to go out peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, Like, maybe in my sleep at a ripe old age. After living a fulfilling life. It's cliché, but dying with no regret sounds pretty ideal to me. But who really knows, right? Life's unpredictable. As long as I've made some positive impact and left behind good memories, I think I'd be alright with however it happens. Just hoping it's not too soon. Mine will probably be drinking related based on my life now. Part of me wants to change, but another part of me would rather be myself and not force an unwanted change for a few extra years. I do not want to go the way, and as early as my dad. But I take better care of myself than he ever did of himself. I've been around enough death that I know it won't be fun, and probably not quick. I just want to be me and be able to accept myself. To be honest, I hope I go out one of two ways. As an old man surrounded by my family. Just seeing everyone. Kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, I hope. Just seeing what life became at an old age. The other way would be like a warrior. Fighting or something I believed it was worth my life. Where I knew if my blood was spilled it would be worth it to me. Where a bunch of like-minded men would be. Hopefully quick. Semper fucking fi. If I make it to 70, 80 years old, I hope that my healthy lifestyle provides me with a body that is still able to move quite easily and not struggle with the basics. I also hope my hard work during my 30s paid off, and I'm living in a ranch with different types of animals, and a partner who shares my love for these animals. I would love to have a lot of dogs, cats, horses, cows, chickens, etc., and just be around them all day. Likely something stupid. People in my family don't die of natural causes. Stabbed with a fishing fillet knife at a traffic light. Goring by his own pet deer. Drowning. Hit by a stray bullet whilst cleaning gutters, etc. 3 summers ago I had a plane crash about 300 feet from where I was working. I was convinced it was meant for me. I still am not convinced I actually lived through it. Athivan helps. If nothing else gets me first, that will. I end up putting myself in harm's way trying to help some other living being. Or I get taken out by something wildly random, unexpected, unavoidable, and fatal. Heart failure, heart attack. But if I get to elderly or physically miserable to maintain a reasonable quality of life, I will absolutely take myself out. Live 80 years just to spend my final 12 months bedridden, in absolute misery. A husk of my former self. Nope. Get diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's, and spend 5 years withering away, slowly dying and losing my mind. I don't think so. When my life has been fulfilled and my kids are established adults, I'll do everything I can to rescue children from human trafficking. I'll probably be shot dead for either exposing ringleaders or shot dead from physically rescuing children with my own hands and getting them to safety. If that doesn't play out, I'll probably die of old age, which will be lovely. Aging is a privilege. I'll probably die either from a heart attack, stroke, brain aneurysm, or a failed surgery. As a history of drugs and alcohol abuse, since that is also intertwined with mental illness, especially with depression and other symptoms I wish not to share for the point of my family's safety and mine. Also, I'm sorry if my English grammar isn't good. Most likely the extremely rare inherited genetic disorder that has killed 3 of my family members. My dad lived the longest and died at 57. I'm currently 44 and hoping to get lucky and break that record. Only time will tell. But you never know. My best friend was killed a few years ago in a semi-versus motorcycle accident. Life and death are often unpredictable. I'll be in my 80s, mostly doing okay. Then I'll fall or have an infection that will initiate a cascade of decline. Marked reduction in mobility. Eating less, sleeping more, increased confusion. After a period of time, I will no longer be conscious, and then I'll likely be dead within a week. That, or tofu things falling off aircraft. Those are my 2 scenarios. Hopefully something entertaining or cool like cryopreservation or a big ass explosion. War could also be possible as I live in Finland and Russia doesn't really like Finland. Suicide is also an option because I wouldn't really want to live past 60 with the current medical equipment. If cryopreservation is available by then I'll take it. If not, euthanasia it is. Best bet for me is a cardiovascular incident. I had a carotid artery surgically repaired already. I stopped smoking, but after a total of 70 years of smoking and second-hand smoke from conception to high school graduation. Born in 1952, smoking was normal and acceptable until the late 1990s. I already had HPV cancer that was cured in 2015. Life is gory. I've always wanted to go out drugged out of my mind and young, but seriously think I'll probably live longer than I'd like and die from heart failure at old age. I don't do drugs anymore, and I'm pretty adverse to risk, so unless a bus hits me, my genetic pool decided we live into our 100s. I don't want to be like my great-grandma waiting for death at 106. I think offing myself, but only after I've done the things I want to do. So not like tomorrow morning. Maybe in 10-30 years depending on the state of the world. I also want to spend or give away or use up all my assets and possessions first if I do that, and I hate spending money, so it would take a while to burn through it.